Stephen A. just need to let it go.
Don't let it go.
He needs to let it go. And now you're like, well, if he'd hit him, I don't think LeBron was coming to hit you. LeBron was coming to tell you, bro, just stop talking about my son. For him to do that at a game, and it wasn't after the game, it wasn't before the game, it was the third quarter during a timeout.
Right.
Let you know how upset he was at Stephen A. and what Stephen A. had been saying. LeBron should have stole on you. LeBron should have did this. Man, they just talking.
Yeah.
Stephen A. Man, you the same, man. I'm about to be 57. You about to be 58. Bro, that ain't even your MO.
Right.
You ain't gonna fight nobody.
Shannon Sharpe reacts to Stephen A. Smith versus LeBron James. Check out what he had to say, and then I'll come back with my comments.
I wish Stephen A. would just left it alone. Once he addressed it, once it happened.
The first time.
Address it. This is what happened. He came over to me, said what he said. I want to address it now, and I'm going to be done with it.
Right.
Because as my grandma used to say, boy, stirring up old ish, it still smells.
Nah, I think Stephen A. is doing great. Keep addressing it. If LeBron wants to keep running content or throwing shots, hey, this is his job, Stephen A. Smith, to report on sports news. And even though this is more on the media side, it still has something to do with LeBron. He's a Laker, arguably the greatest or top two, however you want to rank him. So if you're Stephen A., don't let up on LeBron. And if you're LeBron, keep running content on Stephen. This is great for content creators like myself. I need as much content as possible. This is easy work right here.
So every time Stephen A. talks about it, it stirs it up again.
It don't matter.
And look, I see both sides. I see both sides of the equation. But Stephen A. just need to let it go.
Don't let it go.
He needs to let it go. And now you're like, well, if he'd hit him, I don't think LeBron was coming to hit you. LeBron was coming to tell you, bro, just stop talking about my son.
Yeah, that's the only thing with Stephen. He was like, he would have swung on him, but we already knew LeBron wasn't going to do anything physically to Stephen A. Smith. It was just a calculated move by him to kind of exploit Stephen A. He knows that if he wanted to, he can destroy Stephen A. Smith, but LeBron, he's not an idiot. Too much to lose. Lifetime Nike contract. Has a great rapport within the media. Everybody loves him for the most part, so he would never do anything that stupid to jeopardize his career and life outside of basketball. So Stephen A. Smith saying that he would have swung on him. Bro, you're like 6'1", 6'2", LeBron 6'9", 280, you about like $190. Yeah, as a man, you got to defend yourself, but it wasn't going that direction. Other than that, everything else Stephen A. Smith is saying, he's on point, but, it is what it is.
Right. He said, because you said, as a father, now you're making it personal. You're making it personal because now you're making it seem, and this is how LeBron, I think, took it. You making it seem that I'm not a good father, that I'm not putting my son in a position to be successful. And so you're pushing this. And so LeBron took it a certain way. And am I surprised LeBron responded the way he did so publicly? Because LeBron is a very private person.
Yes, sir.
He might have an issue with someone and you will never know it.
You'll never know it, yeah.
Yeah, LeBron is passive aggressive, so I'm kind of surprised he's keeping his back and forth going with Stephen. I'm initially surprised he kind of walked up on Stephen A. Smith at a Lakers game in person, but LeBron, he's been one to confront Stephen A. Smith. But now that Stephen A. Smith said, as a father, X, Y, and Z, now I got a real reason to kind of take all my frustration out over the years with the criticism, with maybe shots Stephen A. Smith threw at him before previously. Now he got a real reason to walk up on him. So again, calculated move by LeBron, and he was able to spin the narrative. Stephen A. Smith is public enemy number one, and all LeBron got to do is just troll him like he's been doing, putting out that boxing video, laughing, saying that he's on his Taylor Swift run. So LeBron, real petty. I like the directness that he's going with now, not being passive aggressive. Let Stephen A. Smith know you got an issue with him, even though he may be wrong in his approach. But still, it is what it is, man. LeBron James about to retire soon. He's crashing out on the media.
You'll never know it. So, and so for him to do that at a game, and it wasn't after the game, it wasn't before the game, it was the third quarter during a timeout.
Right.
Let you know how upset he was at Stephen A. and what Stephen A. had been saying. But at this point in time, I understand LeBron, they asked LeBron about this, but if I'm Stephen A., hey, guys, I've already addressed that. He said what he said. I understood his point. I said what I said. Now it's time to move on.
Right.
Look, it's not going to stop me from talking about LeBron James, the basketball player on the court. But the incident, I feel that we've talked about it ad nauseum. I feel we've talked about it enough, and now it's time to move on.
No, it ain't time to move on yet. I think Stephen A. Smith, he's going to milk this a little bit longer, only because of LeBron going on the Pat McAfee show. We already know things have been reported allegedly that Pat and Stephen got an issue. So you're going to go on the Ops platform, do an 1.5-hour interview, chill and laugh it up. LeBron, he's real calculated, so he knows the reports. He knows what's going on behind the scenes as far as issues Pat and Stephen may have. So, yeah, let me go on that platform. Let me deny everybody else that's been glazing me interviews, including Shannon Sharpe, Nick Wright, Draymond Green, you name it. I'm going to just go on his platform because right now he got the juice at ESPN. He got a voice. So again, calculated by LeBron, and if you're Stephen A., even though you say you don't have an issue with Pat doing the interview, it was a great look for him. Hey, that's more ammo for Stephen A. Smith to carry out this story for another week or two.
That's what I wish Stephen A. would do.
Yeah.
But like he said, I mean, look, I get it.
Steven.
That's LeBron James. It's the biggest name in pro North American sport.
Right.
And when you mention his name, good, bad, or indifferent, people will want to click and hear what you have to say about him.
Of course.
But the one thing I know about this guy, and I know him a little bit, I don't know him as well as a lot of people do.
Right.
That man loves his family. He gonna protect his family now.
Always.
You don't know LeBron as much as Brian Windhorst knows him. Another person he threw under the bus, calling him weird. So, Shannon, I know you cool with LeBron, but be careful how you glaze him because he may call you weird in another year or two once he retires. LeBron is slowly starting to go off on the media. So I know you're cool with LeBron. I know you want that leverage as far as the media and stuff outside of your job. But LeBron, he don't really care about the media like that, including people that he's not really cool with. Yeah, he may be cordial because you got the juice right now. But LeBron is showing his true colors. Like, he really don't care.
Always. And I think when you think about it and you go back to the way things happen with LeBron actually addressing Stephen A. courtside is, well, what Stephen A. said obviously was said publicly on a public forum on TV. So he addressed it the exact same way.
Exactly.
Publicly, courtside in the middle of a game.
Yes.
Now, it is what it is.
As a father, and like Stephen A. said, he understood where LeBron was coming from.
My only thing with LeBron running up on Steven, now if this was just stuff randomly that's been happening and then he confronted him, go ahead, by all means. But for you to kind of wrap it up as far as it being about Bronny and you questioning me as a parent, that's the main little issue I got with LeBron. If you're going to keep it real with Stephen A. Smith, keep it all the way real. You haven't liked what Steven's been saying about you for years now, and this Bronny thing may have been the breaking point, but don't let it be the only reason. This thing been going back for years, this whole beef. So LeBron, keep it real. Keep it all the way real.
Mm-hmm. Knowing Stephen A., I think in the individual that he is, LeBron said what he had to say today. I'm sure Stephen A. is going to respond to that because
he did.
If you think about it, anytime anyone says anything to or about Stephen A., he's going to have an answer.
Not only did he respond on his platform, this was before First Take yesterday, so they didn't see what Stephen A. Smith did on First Take with Windhorst and Perkins. He gathered up the Avengers and he's going at LeBron James. So, hey, I thought it was just going to stay on his platform, the Stephen A. Smith Show on his YouTube channel. But it looks like, he's going to bring it to First Take again. The boss has already said, you got to talk about this. So, all right, you want me to talk about it? We're going to really talk about it. So I wouldn't be surprised if Stephen A. Smith just starts randomly throwing shots at LeBron. Still going to give him his props. Still going to go over the game and, say what he has to say. But a lot of shots are going to be thrown at LeBron in the media, especially ESPN.
Whatever's being said, that's just him. And it's always been him. I know you would like him to leave it alone, but I don't think that's not how this is going to go.
The only thing I would have said was, Stephen A., look, I know people are going to like, man, LeBron should have stole on you. LeBron should have did this. Man, they just talking.
Yeah.
Stephen A., man, you the same, man. I'm about to be 57. You about to be 58. Bro, that ain't even your MO.
Right.
You ain't gonna fight nobody. LeBron wasn't gonna swing on you, and you wasn't gonna, LeBron wasn't gonna swing on you, so there would have been no need for you to swing on him.
Yeah, again, that's the only thing with Stephen A. Smith. You don't got to be this fake tough guy, bro. It is what it is. You have a lot of energy for LeBron after the fact. I just wish he had 20% of this energy when LeBron was in his face. And we're not saying to crash out, lose your job, get arrested, or lose that contract, but had that verbal back and forth. LeBron, he wasn't interested in talking to you behind the scenes or somewhere in the Lakers arena. He wanted that face-to-face confrontation, so you had to give him some of that energy. You got to be ready when the ops pull up on you. Kind of remember what you said and have a rebuttal in person. So Stephen A. got to work on keeping that same energy in person.
I'm glad you guys stood there and y'all talked. Look, he said what he said. You seemed to be receptive at the time of it. You you said you understood because he was speaking to you as a father and not LeBron James, the basketball player. And you said you understood that. Let it go now.
I think he understood it. But again, he didn't expect for LeBron James to go on the Pat McAfee show and kind of diss him, make him look like less than what he is. So Stephen A. Smith has a huge ego. He doesn't like when people kind of down him like that. So maybe if it would have ended, yeah, he understood as a father and as a parent, that's the way LeBron was coming at him. But by doing that Pat McAfee podcast, you know, all bets are off. Stephen A. Smith is looking at LeBron like a op now. So I don't think you're going to see anything with Stephen A. Smith to where he kind of falls back from a topic with LeBron. He kind of brought up some other things with the Kobe situation that had to kind of dial it back on social media. But there's some things about LeBron that people ain't really talking about in the media, if you know what I mean. Just think about all the stuff that's surrounding LeBron, all the allegations. Is Stephen A. Smith going to keep that type of energy? That's going to be interesting to see if Stephen A. Smith starts to bring up some more topics outside of the NBA.